Holy Saturday represents the time Jesus' body lay in the tomb. It was a deeply devastating time for his followers, but it was also a slightly concerning time for the religious leaders that didn't believe in him, but were slightly concerned that what he said he would do would actually come to pass. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Amanda, and on this channel I make quite literally whatever content I fancy making. And happy Holy Saturday. So if you've been keeping up to speed with these videos, you'll know that I started these last Sunday, Palm Sunday, and I'm currently running through the Easter story every single day up until and including Easter Sunday. If you want to take a look at those videos, I will link them somewhere up here if you want to catch up. Today we will be exploring what happened on Holy Saturday and what that must have felt like whilst Jesus was in the tomb and his followers waited to see whether what he had said would actually come true. So yeah, today I'm going to be reading from Matthew 27, verse 57 up until 66. What I've mentioned before is that what I love about the Gospels, which are the first few books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, is that you get 4 different perspectives on the same situation. So what I will do and have been doing throughout this is leaving the scriptures for the same event as mentioned in Luke and John and so on. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, because I always find it really interesting to see, like, how does Mark describe this? How does Luke describe this? Because they're very different and they have very different perspectives and personalities. Okay, so Matthew chapter 27, verse 57 to 66. The burial of Jesus. As evening approached, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who had himself become a disciple of Jesus. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body, and Pilate ordered that it be given to him. Joseph took the body, wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and placed it in his own new tomb that he had cut out of the rock. He rolled a big stone in front of the entrance of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were sitting there opposite the tomb. The guard at the tomb. The next day, the one after preparation day, the chief priests and the Pharisees went to Pilate. "Sir," they said, "we remember that while he was still alive, that deceiver said, 'After 3 days I will rise again.' So give the order for the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day. Otherwise his disciples may come and steal the body and tell the people that he has been raised from the dead. This last deception will be worse than the first." "Take guard," Pilate answered. "Go make the tomb as secure as you know how." So they went and made the tomb secure by putting a seal on the stone and posting the guard. There we go. That is the reading for Holy Saturday. I always find it so interesting thinking how it must have felt in that time of just waiting, because of course when we read the Bible now we know how this story ends, but it's just, that waiting, what it must have been like for those that had followed him. I wonder if doubt started to creep in for them, you know. Yeah, really, really unusual time. But I also find it really bizarre that the Pharisees would go through so much effort to secure the tomb so that, you know, they're not deceived. And I do wonder, did they think they were going to be deceived, or did they partially worry that what Jesus said was actually going to come to pass? But yeah, let's have a little think. I'm going to move on now to some points of reflection that we can think on in our spare time. I really hope that you have been enjoying these points of reflection as well. I think it's really good to, well, I mean, it's always good, even outside of Easter, to try and align ourselves with when like the context behind when these things were written, but also how that still applies to us now as quote unquote modern day believers. Yeah, points of reflection time. Right, so the first point of reflection is, what can we learn from the quiet waiting of Holy Saturday? As humans, there's always something that we are waiting for, something that we're hoping for. So yeah, what can you personally learn from the quiet waiting of Holy Saturday? I think it's a really interesting one. And also, I suppose to add to that, what kind of waiting is it that's happening on Holy Saturday? Because there is some quietness to it, but I do wonder how quiet it was. What were people doing whilst they waited? How do we wait well on the Lord? That's another interesting point for consideration. There is a level of silence that is felt reading the scripture relating to Holy Saturday, and that contrasts so greatly with the story for tomorrow, the resurrection, the Easter Sunday, the joyful, loud, proud, joyful, hopeful time. And yeah, I just want us to all reflect on how even in our lives, the waiting periods are very, very, very often, in fact, I can't really think of times when it's not, but they're followed by really wonderful, loud breakthroughs. Even when it appears that nothing's happening, it's actually that beginning boiling process of like a kettle. It starts quiet but then ends really loud. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed those points of reflection, and I really look forward to joining you again tomorrow for another one of these videos. Yeah, so I really, really hope that you have enjoyed this series of videos. It's been a joy to make them, and I hope that it has connected and helped at least one person. But yeah, I will see you again tomorrow, Easter Sunday. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.